project's going to take a few weeks to complete, and primarily because I've had to order the roof sheeting and the accessories online, so I need to wait for that to come. But to get the project underway, I've been down to the builder's merchant today and I've bought some roofing timbers, some chevrons, rafter timber, which is 63mm by 75mm or 2.5 by 3. And the first thing I want to do is get it off the car, and then I'll explain what I'm going to do with this timber and what I can do over the next week or so, just to get the project ready for the next phase, which is when the delivery comes. Okay, so here is the plan for the structure of the roof. The whole thing will be 5 meters long. I bought 5 1 meter wide polycarbonate panels. These 4 pieces of timber are 5 meters long, so they're exactly the right length I need. So 4 5 meter lengths. These two will be the ridges and these two will be down on the eaves. And then I need 6 sets of rafters. Like that. The rafters will be turned the other way around, because approximately 5 foot 1500 millimeters of the roof, say from here, is going to be counter levered out from the face of the greenhouse. I need to build a new frame down here. I've not got that timber yet. So for today I've got the timber to do this. So I'm going to cut these in half based on the geometry of the greenhouse, the pitch of the greenhouse, just to conserve pieces. So I'm going to take a measurement off the greenhouse. I'm going to cut these in half on that angle. Then I'm going to run all this timber that you see through the planer and take the rough edges away, and then run the router down just to take the sharp corners off, and then we're going to paint them the same colour as the greenhouse. So when the roof sheets arrive, we've already done maybe a day's work. So let's pull the planer out into the garden, because I need 10 meters front to back to plane these through and annoy the neighbours with the planer for half an hour. Okay, so I've taken my angle from the greenhouse roof. These 3 meter rafters I'm going to mark in half and find the centre point of them, so 1500. Then I'm going to strike this angle straight through the centre line. So when I cut on this centre line, end up with 2 rafters as long as they possibly can be, to the point they're actually going to be 1525. Whereas if I'd have cut the piece in half and then done the point, I'd have actually been throwing a couple of inches of stock away. Typically it started raining. Okay, so that's all the rafters done. It's playing up nice. It's certainly worth putting the effort in and planing it, because it's so much cheaper buying it sewn and then planing it than buying a planed piece of material. Lucky Lynn weren't around then. Okay, so yesterday I got the roof off the greenhouse and we've cut and fixed these 3 cantilevered beams. Today we're going to start to put the rafters on. Now sadly some of my roof delivery hasn't come yet. I've got the roof sheets but I've not got the glazing bars. They don't come till Monday. So I'm hoping I've got the dimensions right off the manufacturer's website for the spacings. 1 metre and 10 and 1 metre and 40 at the ends. Yesterday afternoon I went shopping and got some more timber, and I went shopping halfway through the build because my builder's merchant had a special offer on, so I needed to take advantage of that. So the materials I bought yesterday and cut late last night, and Lynn's going to paint all the blocking pieces that go between ridge and purlin and also sit between raft and rafter to block the roof up to stop the roof sheets from sagging, and also to close the gaps up under the roof sheets. So they're the ones I'm going to start to fit today once I've fit the rafters. The main thing I want to do in the next few hours is get the rafters from here and here set, because that dictates the front of the greenhouse roof, and then I can start to dig holes here and concrete in the posts that form the framework for the front. So that's today's work. It's already mid-afternoon, so I've got about 3 or 4 hours of daylight left, so I need to get on. Okay, so hello darling, are you okay? So today's task is to create the front for the greenhouse, like an H-frame to support these front 2 purlins and to concrete them into the floor. The rest of the roof materials coming tomorrow, so I'm not really bothered about doing too much more on the back of the roof today. I might as well wait till I've got all the equipment. I'm going to put a support across here. It's going to sit under the purlins about here and concrete the feet into the floor, and then that can go off overnight, and then I can take away this temporary bracing. Okay, so I've got my beam set now. I've got my 2-post mortise and tenon into there. I've dug 2 holes here. I'm going to put these on the base of the post. Now, it's been decided at this morning's design team meeting, in other words coffee break, that we're going to extend this concrete slab to about here. So I'm going to place these, probably just cut a little bit off because of how stony our soil is. I've hit the limestone shelf in this hole. So what I'm going to do is cut these down to size, put the posts in and cut them off just slightly above this concrete line, and then I can put these on, fix them in, make sure everything's plumb and square, probably brace off these overnight, and then put some concrete in, put some dry mix in. It's actually going to have some storms later apparently, so, and then I can come back at a later date, just square this area up and extend this slab to just proud of the posts. Hi guys, so I've been off this build a couple of days. We finished what you see now on Sunday. Today's Thursday. Monday all the material came, then the weather turned for a day and I spent another day finishing the mudroom. So we're back on this now and I've got the weekend to hopefully finish it. The weather's a bit mixed today, but after today the weather should be good. So I'll tell you what the plan is for hopefully today. So first of all, I'm going to remove all this temporary bracing, because it's something I'm either going to walk into or catch my shins on. And I'm going to need these 3 longer pieces to create some kind of cutting bench to cut the polycarbonate sheets down. So everything I bought is in 3-metre lengths, the sheets and the glazing bars, and they need to be cut in half, 1.5 metres. So I want to cut a sheet in half and I want to cut a couple of glazing bars in half, and then I can form the roof in this section here. First of all, make sure everything works. If I need to tweak anything round, it's a good time to do it now. Secondly, there's no point building the joist on the back of the barn if these don't fit. Should do, as per the recommended centres. I also need to work out where the roof sheet's finished and then work out my plumb cuts for the fascia and the guttering for later in the build. So I need to cut these plumb cuts in the rafters before I can fit the sheets. So that is a plan for today. So these are the glazing bars. I've got 4 of these, the intermediate ones. The end profile is slightly different. In fact, it's just one of these with a little downstand on. But for now, I'm only going to fit these. So these are exactly 3 metres long. This piece fixes to the rafter and then the polycarbonate goes in and that piece drops over, and then there's a self-tapping screw which just goes through this seam and through into the roof to hold the whole thing down. So I need to cut that in half. Just conscious there's a rain cloud working its way up the valley and I don't want to get my chop saw out. I've just been to watch the manufacturer's installation video. It's on a little website called YouTube, you may have heard of it, and it actually shows exactly what I'm doing here. It shows a square, rather than a plumb cut, it just shows a square cut and these brackets sandwiched in. So I'm doing it right, it's just not what I wanted. I wanted to put a plumb cut on and put a fascia on. However, we were only going to put a fascia on, I've been told, we're only going to put a fascia on this side, because that side it runs out onto the veggie bed. So we're going to do the same here. Lynn says a long-term goal is to have another veggie bed on this side, so I'm not even going to bother with the expense then of a fascia or some guttering. The guttering we've got is probably no good anyway, to be fair. When it stops raining, the shower's just started. I'm going to make plumb cuts on these rafters, put a slight chamfer or slight undercut on them just to keep the weather off them as much as I can. Actually seems weird, it's actually pouring with rain, but yet my glasses have gone dark because it's sunny over there and rainy over there, coming this direction. Obviously the rafters that I've not fixed, I can cut them to length and put the square cut on before I put them up on the roof, but these I've put on, I'm just going to have to set my saw and just cut them to length. Okay, so I've set a little cutting station up on these saw horses, and I'm going to cut these in half with my track saw. The last time I cut some panels like this, I cut them with a fine blade in the jigsaw, but today I'm going to have a go with my track saw. That is very, very clean. That is perfect. Right, let's see if one fits. Got in the trailer loads of pieces of wood that I cut and planed down and Lynn's painted, and these need fitting between here and here, and the same at the top. I just need to close this gap between the rafters. You guys have just had a charge. I had a cup of coffee because I needed a recharge too. Then whilst you've been away, I've cut all but one of these ends. I've just got that one down there to do. The two sheets there are on, but before I finish tonight and I'm starting to lose the light, I just need to put the two cover strips on, because when I put that roof sheet on about 2 hours ago, 90 minutes ago, the wind was already lapping at the loose end. Actually, it's gone quite still now, so, but even so, I'm going to put it on. I don't want to find it in the next field tomorrow. I've decided now to put them two in and kind of worked out how the system goes together. I'm going to complete this side because this side has much harder access, so it's easy to finish this side and I can pop through the roof on the other side from inside, board this side, put the ridge on and then slide the roofing sheets up underneath the bridge when that goes on. Now they do say you get a little bit too close to your project, and these little upstands here, even though my initial thoughts were right, when I bought them they're supposed to be grey, and they are grey. The choice was either grey or white, so I bought the grey one, but it's nowhere near the grey of the cover strips, which is a bit disappointing. And actually I only bought 10, I need 12, and they were quite expensive. They're about, I think they cost me about €25, which is why when I was looking at these, my mind was saying I need to use these, even though they're not quite long enough and don't really achieve what I wanted to achieve. And then when I thought, well, I was too short, I thought I'll just get a piece of aluminium, probably get some sort of 100mm leg aluminium or a little piece of aluminium sheet and make my own. And then I thought, why didn't I do that with them all? So if you're doing this kind of thing and you want these little upstands, you might be better just buying a little piece of aluminium and making your own, and then just getting some paint and painting them. But even so, it probably doesn't matter. We never intended putting guttering on that side anyway, so the water can just run off into the bed, and now Lynn's told me I'm digging another bed on this side, then it'll run off on this side. It was just always nice to collect a bit of water. Right, I'm going to carry on as much as I can. I'm mindful I need to put the tools away. Sun's over the top of the trees already, so give it another 40 minutes and it'll be dark.